got to a point where whenever I saw a phone call, I was trying to avoid it because I know I will not spare. You on this one, okay? Just forgive me. But I will not spare you on this one. She lied to people, to some subscribers, in the fact that she's been kicked out of the house. And she went and rented a house. I'm pretty sure that it's subscribers who gave her money to rent that house a month ago. But when I called her and asked her, she had not been kicked out. She been there. Okay? They had a disagreement. She decided to leave. And then said down there, utapona, meaning you will get healed. All right, guys. Welcome to Edutainment for Us. Our reaction today. Guys, I know some people are so pissed off with me. But save yourself the energy, because you're not going to change my way of thought. You're not going also to decide whom I talk about. So if you're not happy about what I'm doing, just stay off from my channel. Because there's no way you come here and then begin defining for me, stop talking about this one. I'll not. When I started the reaction channel, I don't have boundaries on who to talk to. In fact, some of you come because of a title, watch one video and disappear. So the best thing you can do for yourself, to save yourself from my thought, you can disappear. But you cannot come here and tell me who to talk about, who not to talk about, how to talk about whoever. So I saw somebody, I'm just forgetting the name, let me check. I saw a comment, I'm like, hey, my friend, will you keep quiet? Because as much as you comment, you're not going to change my thought at all. Let me just check who it was. Let me check whoever it was. I did a video here, and somebody felt like they are irritated and they are telling me, stop using David Jr.'s name. I don't use people's name, I react on them. When they bring stuff on the channel, I talk about it. Why? Because they are bringing stuff all day long to us. So why not talk about it? There are no boundaries about who react to. If I'm a reactor, I'll react to anything. And you've seen on my channel, I react to so many people in Kenya, not just David Jr., not just Marwa, not just ROCIO, not just Dimwango, but a lot of people, including even Coco Mama. I've ever reacted to her. I went on BBTV, I reacted on her. I have reacted to numerous people on this platform. As long as they bring personal stuff, why not? So you cannot dictate to me whoever I react to, because it's like a book. Will you choose for me the books I read? No. You can't. You can't, you won't, you may not. So you can't shush me, all right? You can't shush me. Because for me to get a skin and actually the face to come here, I have a mission to accomplish. So just keep off. If you are not maybe excited about the reaction, you feel like there's somebody you're trying to defend, go to hell, all right? So we have had a lot on the streets, and some of the topics are from Kilifi, others are from Yabohanse, so why not? We are going for them, and we want to just unravel and open up and check and compare, analyze, and do our own examination into it, right? So if you don't have such a mind, you can keep off and keep watching silently, because you don't have a critical mind. But for us who want to check into critical thought, all we do is to check into what people are saying, what they are doing, because it's like a read of a book. We read books, we analyze, we give our thought and all that, right? Yeah. And of course, I would wish that you would understand that we are the most hardworking people ever on the streets. Why? For us to actually come up with even one reaction, you will have watched a lot of people, done a lot of comparison, done a lot of contrast before you come and do a video. So guys, take your time and subscribe to the channel if you are a lover of reactions. Reactions are here to entertain, to educate, to inform, not the people we are talking about, but any other person. And I know they are my fans. We have my fans right here. They watch and they always encourage me to keep on and on. So no one will stop me. Do you know how reggae goes? Nobody will stop reggae. Reaction will not be stopped today, tomorrow, or even after you are gone. Even after I've died, people will continue reacting. So just stay calm and understand my position, understand who I am, understand what I'm doing. By the time I talked about David Jr. actually saving Halima as a molested lady, you never came to the channel to even comment positively. Now today I did an aspect of talking about Murimi on David Jr., then you come out and begin to accuse. You can go write a book. In fact, I'm giving you time. By December, you can publish a book, and I'll be proudly buying your book so that I can read. What do you think of me? You can't call me stupid. How can I be stupid when I've given you content until you watch the entire video and you realize that I've given some perception? You know, they always say truth is bitter. Most people are not very happy about what reactors are doing. They want to live a lie. They pretend to really love David Jr., whoever it is, and or maybe Dimango or Marwa, in a manner that they are obsessed. For us, we don't hate anybody, but we have to react towards aspects that don't look okay, right? So I will keep using David Jr. today, tomorrow, the other day. I'll keep using Marwa tomorrow, today, and the other day. I'll keep using Oga Obina today, tomorrow, and the other day. I'll keep establishing maybe on whether it is Mweni or any other person that I feel like. Even the Nigerians have done reaction on them. Of course, I should be going back and checking on Nollywood. So welcome, welcome. In the streets, of course, the current story that is trending is MAPOPO. Guys, MAPOPO is one of the guys that is coming on the streets to complain because he knows where the razor blade cuts. You know, men are very good in cheating. What they do, for them, they don't keep any details. They can delete the message as fast as it comes. They will not allow. Actually, married men will not keep videos, photos, and all that of those they are actually cheating with. They'll not. But their wives might be foolish enough to keep it, especially now that Mapopo's wife was actually thinking that the password will never be known by the husband. She thought that the husband will never get to see the truth. And possibly, if Mapopo is testifying here that he knew that long ago, why did he wait for now? Now, if you listen to Nairobi Teacher on the streets, he said that these problems between Neema and MAPOPO did not start today, tomorrow, or the other day. They have been there for long. Possibly even from the child number 1 or 2 or 3, whatever. The reality of it. You know, before, let's say, Neema decided to do what she did, we may not tell, but she looks like a neglected woman, because how do you go about with torn slippers and your husband has so much money? Or people are arguing that he's not doing it because he has constructed a house and he has the house. But let me ask you, how do you construct a good house like that and continue living in a house? I'm telling you, when I was in Coast and started constructing a house, the moment I started, I was counting days and saying that even before it's over, I'll be in that house. So how do you continue paying rent in a house when you've constructed your own? The economy of Kenya doesn't allow that. So I wonder, why is Mapopo and Neema still in a rental house with 4 kids? Do you know how difficult it is to survive in a rental house? Rental houses are not customized. Sometimes they are uncomfortable. They are too small for us. You know, people know what is happening on the streets. Of course, when you look at the facts about Mapopo, Mapopo has been cheating all along. Because from the stories on the streets, and everybody knows, why did he carry some woman on the bike and the woman ran and hid in a plantation when they saw Gintu with the cobra? Hey, send a thief to catch a thief, they say so. So the one reason why this guy is so frustrated, and he's talking about going to kill himself is because he knows he has been doing it. They always say mkuki ni mtamu kwa nguruwe lakini kwa binadamu mchungu. So he has been playing the wife. Before a wife decides actually to do such things, sometimes it's because they are tired. They are tired with trying. They have seen that you are not even taking care of it. You know, in Africa, we believe if your husband is rich or wealthy or affluent, then you must live a better life. There is no way you want your wife to live like a wife of that person who is not earning anything. You build a house and then you stay out. And for the first time now, you come to do a video there with adventures. I'm like, adventures? Are you coming as a counselor, a reactor? Because he is calling Masubo one a reactor. But from what I looked, he was also a reactor. Did he not react when he saw the messages? He said, that's not good. That's not good. You know, if you have come as a counselor or a mediator, you can't even solve on camera. You can solve those matters off camera. But he was there sitting with MAPOPO, telling him, bring the phone. Then the phone, I'm like, hey, my brother, you still trust some people when your friends have let you down, including Chris Madibo, including, I don't know, they said another one, they didn't want to mention a name. I'm like, in fact, Adventure said that you have not been lucky, you have bad friends who always come and abuse or misuse you. I'm like, okay. So does it mean you have a destiny or something? I didn't understand. But let's just check on some things here as we go by. Let's check here.
Try this 8-minute AI
Let's
study
skip this
habit
part.
after work. Get ahead of your colleagues and boss.
Look at that. So when I look at this, I don't see the difference between what this guy has done, MAPOPO, and what Masubo was doing. Of course, he's blaming Masubo, but Masubo was supposed to call him before he came on camera, which somehow I may agree because Masubo one himself is not clean. Actually, Masubo one is one of the molesters. He molested the second wife. He kind of hid the information. But the Nyabohanze people are very funny. They expose some information about themselves. Again, they blame reactors. But once you bring something to the internet or social media, what do you expect? What do you expect? And reaction is a niche. You don't expect people to keep quiet, do you? I don't think that you will bring, if I do something about myself and bring it on camera, then I place on social media, and something that is about abuse, something to do with our relationship, something about nudes, what do you expect? People will talk about it. Look at politicians. How do we react to it? I have a channel, political channel. When we look at the statements politicians have said, we look at their action versus their verbal communication. We look at their life. That's how we react to them. And you don't expect now that at the social life we'll choose what to do. We stop talking about this. Bring it on social media. You brought it to the world so people will react to it. And therefore, I want people who keep complaining when we talk about some people to realize that we don't actually intend to go deep down into the information. But when they bring out on camera, we have our perspectives. Today, I might have a perspective to talk about this in this form, and then tomorrow the other. Now, the first time the story came to the social media, of course, it was Masubo one bringing it out. And so what we saw was what we say domestic violence, all right? That is what we saw. Now, after this guy, MAPOPO himself, now came out to speak, what we've seen now is an aspect of a family that lacks trust and lacks the fabric of actually settling as one. And we have also seen scam. Because now, we have people who have come out to say that the wife has been moving out in. And possibly the problem is they are fighting for space on social media. Like possibly The wife Neema has seen that the husband is actually gaining donors, but at the same time neglecting her. So what has she decided to do? She wants also to empower herself. However, she's doing it in a very wrong way. Neema, we can't empower ourselves through nudity. You can't also empower yourself by actually cheating in a marriage, because what you are doing, even the other person you are cheating with will also just play on you. And in fact, they won't value you. I don't see how somebody who values you can give you 600 Kenyan shillings. You know? Like, how desperate can you be to go to someone so that they give you 600 shillings to survive? Will they continue doing that forever? And I'm looking at that message from Chris. Kumbe tunaongea unanishauri alafu inageuka tena unaniongea, si ndio? When you look at that message from Chris, who is actually SMSing to Mama Jacqueline, who is Neema, what does it do? It is clearly showing that Chris also has issues, okay? Now, recently there was this story, I remember that time Jamaican uncle was moving back to Jamaica. And actually people came about with a story blaming him, saying that he had been the one that caused the burning of Chris, that MARWA is not visiting Chris in hospital. And I was like, what are you talking about? However much you hide, the truth will always suffice, okay? So people hid this information, and we kept quiet and said, anyway, they'll come to the street to tell us. Now, currently, they have had to come out finally. I always say, when you hide the hyena, you hide the hyena. But when it comes out of when people have gone, the hunters have gone, it will automatically come and demand for you. And it will devour you. I always say that. Why? You remember that time people hid Chris' story? Chris Madipo's story was hidden. Of course, you know that he's a guy from Burundi who settled in Nyabohanse without documents. Of course, unlike Mayugno, he doesn't have documents actually to make him settle there. And you heard that from Adventures, what he was saying on the camera. So it's clear that whatever he's doing in Nyabohanse is not legal. All right? He came to work as a house, is it a gatekeeper, or rather a guard in MAPOPO's property. And he's saying that he has been paying him 16,000 shillings. I'm like, who pays people like that in Kenya? Unless you are getting real gigs from the donors, that is why you are crying left and right saying that subscribers are going. I don't know why people mind so much the donors than their families. Someone has 4 kids with a wife. They are having a problem over their marriage. And what he can cry about, it's the subscribers. YouTube will actually kill families, I'm telling you. When people don't understand the value between family and YouTube, it will kill families. Let's just go and listen to what this guy is saying from the beginning. Let's listen to this.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I get perfect
there.
notes from every meeting. I click this toggle to send my
you know, I feel pain. I go, maybe I take this and I go to maybe to hanging event, you know, I died. Or maybe I take it for it.
Since when did people want to DIE? Talk about it. You don't talk about such things, you know? You don't have to manipulate people here and try to say that if they keep talking, you will DIE. Okay? You take heart, because I don't believe you are very, as you are trying to portray, you are trying to portray that your wife knows all the passwords and all that. Knowing the password does not matter. What matters is what you are doing. Is what you do clean? Of course not. Of course not. We've heard from your friend themselves talking somewhere. From the social media itself, people have been talking. Gintu has already exposed you at some point. So you cannot keep saying that you are clean. You are not. However, I don't know why you can't just sit and settle your problems. Because what I think, coming here to expose each other, what is the difference between you and your wife? I don't see. Why are you supposed to really, who asked you to come out with your story and share? Why were they donors? Possibly because in Nyabohanse people mind so much about donors and subscribers instead of families. You are saying that it's not a good thing to come and expose. You are saying that we have some secret messages that you don't want to expose. But when you say that, it already becomes something that people are curious about. And of course they know they are noodles, possibly. Nyabohanse. You know? And you, Neema, how can you be so foolish? How can you be so foolish in a manner that you keep chatting with somebody and, you chat from morning, chat from evening, chat from afternoon, chat, and you are a mother of 4 kids. If you have opened a YouTube channel, why can't you work hard on the channel? You are within Nyabohanse, you can seek assistance from YouTubers genuinely without getting into relationship. Because let me tell you, Gintu always talks about suffering of private parts, and I'm beginning to understand what he says. Because how can a woman actually make herself that vulnerable and relate with, a man who has been a guard to get 600 shillings? I just don't understand, because I've seen people in Nyabohanse having opportunities. Construction is all over the place. They can go seek jobs like cooking there and earn. I saw somebody so irritated at Oti's video and saying that she shouldn't be laughing at the vulnerable. But there is some sort of vulnerability we make ourselves, expose ourselves to, I think in modern times women are empowered, that you can do something else if you think the life is not actually adding up here. Because so far from the streets, it is clear that MAPOPO actually wants to move into that house with a different woman. He is courting a different woman whom he wants to move into the house with. It's allegation, but even as we wait, it will come out. There is nothing that can be hidden forever. And if someone has an intention or a goal, there is no way you will keep that goal forever. It will automatically come out just like the mushroom, Guys, and for those of you who think that we should not talk about this or that, remember, this is what we are good at. Before someone decides to do reaction, they have the muscle, they have the verbal aspect, they have the articulation, they have been ready for research. So there's no way you're going to stop them and tell them, no, keep quiet about this, don't talk about this. They will talk about this today, tomorrow, and the other day. We are always here for 1 hour, talking, whether one person watches 2 or 3, we talk up to the end. And there is no way we can stop. Even if nobody's watching, we will keep talking. All right? Anyway, let me check something here. Just give me some time as I check. I want to... Yeah, so what I was saying is it's so difficult for people to keep quiet once something like this comes to the streets. And people have different thoughts. Others will come here to abuse, others will come here to react, others will come here to advise, Different people, different colors. They always say that, yeah? Reggae did not lie to us, and that is what versions we have. That is why even when I write a book, I wouldn't expect everybody to glorify it. I will expect those who will be actually talking about it negatively. I'll expect those who are talking about it in relation to correcting. I'll expect all sorts of people. Yeah? And that is why when you look even at reactors, we don't have the same thought. We don't have the same thought. We talk differently because we are different people. We have different perceptions. We have different ways of addressing matters. We have those of them who will be talking and laughing about it. There are those who will just be serious, educating, informing, critiquing, opening up here and there. And it may not help those people whom we are talking about, but maybe somebody else will learn a lesson, because from my literary point of view, I find that, art, even YouTube videos are art. And art comes to us every day. Different people have different ways of learning from what we are saying. And therefore, for those who come and they want people to stop, how can we stop? We cannot stop until YouTube says this niche will no longer work. But as long as YouTube is still saying that reaction is necessary, because they know that reaction has played a role in life. It has played entertainment role, informative, inspiring, and that is why when you look at the videos, they'll give you a survey. They'll ask you whether the video was inspiring, educative, entertaining, and all those sorts of things. Anyway, MAPOPO said this.
Reason I died. You know what you would think? You know what advantage you'll have. You know, because first of me, I believe myself. I trust myself. That's why I say that I'm a peace and love. And wow, yeah. Okay, they want to kill me. You know, this is the I don't have a vehicle. I don't want to be. I don't be a rich too much. I don't. First of all, I'm not a rich. This is what they give me. You know. You see, this is a home where people the planets to kill me because of this. Yes. Let me go to sitting there so that I can say the truth. Yes, I can say the truth.
Imagine that house was constructed and was completed long ago. MAPOPO has not moved in. On this video, I expected he would give us a reason. He's not telling us. He's just telling us he loves his wife, he loves his kids, he loves his family. But then I'm just wondering, why is he joining reactors? Because he said that Masubo came to the platform or social media as a reactor. And that is why he did what he did, which was wrong. But at the same time, he has also come here to expose some messages and all that. So what are they trying to prove? Now let's look at this message, for example. Chris is actually receiving a message from the wife of MAPOPO. Samahani maihabi, naomba pesa ninunue ndala. Ndala is the flip-flop. Then he asks, shilingi ngapi, how much money? Then he says, ni 300 ila 280 inachukua. Na yeye anasema sawa, natuma 600. Anasema utanunua paire mbili, pair mbili I think. Then anasema wow, asante babe kwa kunijali na kunihudumia na kupenda sana. Now sometimes I'm just looking at this at a very different angle. Actually, a woman who is desperate can also go for desperate solutions of her life. You know, like Neema here seems to have been desperate because she has flip-flops. Flip-flops are torn. The husband does not buy her the new flip-flops. Even though he is declaring here he loves her. But can you build such a home? Can you build such a house? It is totally complete. Then you are not moving in with your wife. He is not telling us why they have not moved in, but from the rumors outside, he is planning to move in with a different woman and not Neema. And when you look at the reason why the wife started, he was telling us something here. Let's just listen.
About or help me to make sure my emotional they cool down. You know, kuja kiasi hapo ni utakuwa tu keti tu hapo hivi. Hapo iko sawa sasa. Okay guys, thank you so much first of all for coming bro, and thank you for you.
I'm Alicia with MAPOPO.
Yeah.
I goes by name on my YouTube channel Mike Ventures Africa. Many enemies. Even some of us had to just keep quiet and focus with other things. And in fact, me and MAPOPO, we are very good friends. Even if a good time, I took my time to understand both sides. So when I saw the video, I went to their house. They were not there. There were only some neighbors in the house. I had to speak with the neighbor to see what is the problem. I had also to try to, and then we started the talk, what is happening, why these things make this video.
Yeah, there is a fake friend. He's sending my wife there to make a video because my wife she don't have a Masubo One number. She don't have a communication with Masubo One. You know, so I can't blame Masubo One. That's why even yesterday I calling Masubo One. I telling him, my brother, you did this video, and also remember even you are a married man. You have a family. You have a wife. But when you want to film a video, you know,
Kids.
yes,
What is happening?
you know, so when you see something happen like this, You want to ask your question. You want to ask your mind. Like, serious, MAPOPO, I can do this? No, this is not good. So in fact, before I go, I want to give chance to talk because he said that he was never finished to talk. So let me give you a chance to talk so that I go to say the truth, the point.
So when I listen to him saying that he does not want to create more problems, he has a family, he loves his family, he doesn't want to bring things into the open because Masubo one messed by giving, I was expecting him to keep quiet up to that point. But at the same time, I had already seen 2 chats which have been exposed already on his video. And I said, these people don't care whether they'll expose their, they say exposing their dirty linen in public. They don't care. They don't care. I think here I can actually appreciate Marwa. When he had a problem with ROCIO, people tried to push him to talk. They really tried. But he made sure he kept quiet. The only mistake he did is when he was so angry at Gitriba and he shouted and told people, if you don't see me with Gitriba, don't ask me where he is. And people now joined 1+2 to get the answer. However, Marwa was very wise because for him, he never shared openly what was happening. I think up to that point, I can give him 8 out of 10. But when you listen to MAPOPO, MAPOPO actually is pretending not to have wanted to expose, and he has come out to talk. So what is he doing? He's just doing the same thing that the wife did. However, all of them have some lies. They have some truth at the same time, some lies. I just wonder, did MAPOPO beat the wife? That one, he has not told us in the entire video. Because the wife had some black spot somewhere here. And I was like, did she hit herself on the wall? Or did she meet Chris Madipo? And Chris Madipo is healing currently because the time they were hiding or concealing a story about his fire burns from us, we were waiting and asking, what caused these burns? You know, for someone to just be burned, especially a man, up to the chest and the face, and then he comes out to say that it was water. Water was poured in, I don't know, oil. We kept asking ourselves a lot of questions, and in fact, some people were suspecting that Jamaican uncle had been involved in something, and I was wondering, how can Jamaican uncle be involved in it? Now they have come out and said that he was pretending. Let's just listen here. Let's see here.
Want to have your own character figurine? Then try Eddie Maycore. Click 3D.
This hurted me a lot.
It hurted you. Let me see.
Yes. People who they're not born there, they not make
they don't vote.
They don't vote. They don't vote. So even Chris Madiba, he was staying in Kenya. So Margaret, they check him. They go to block them there, block him there in the border, and he was saying that I can't live there and I will die. I don't have a fair transport to go in Burundi. I don't have any job. I don't have any friends. So
in fact, the big problem, even
want to be even me a YouTuber. He was never to talk even English, you know. And he say, oh, what are you learning English? You know, what are you do? And I tell him that you can go to have an app. There is an app. You can talk with the app so that you can learn the English. And I try and he be talking English. And now he talk English. He have a YouTube channel. So the time I was paid him money, he was started to approach my wife. This is what I said.
So he's trying to say that, he was, Chris Madiba was...
My love or whatever. Why you call my gate man? Why? And they say, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I will never do this again. And they broke the number. And Chris Madiba, he have another number, another WhatsApp number. And he coming to starting chatting with my wife again. My wife, she don't want to talk on my camera. Listen.
YouTube manenos, wagwan. So this guy is saying that the wife doesn't like talking on his camera because she is envious about him. She does not, she wants to build her own channel and empower herself. I just wonder, are you telling us the entire truth? Because, of course, you may be telling us some truth, but is it the entire truth? How I wish. Maybe you people could have come up with a common collaboration video to share your challenges and share maybe, because that is what you want us to hear. It's not like we are making you say, but you are saying it by yourself. So how do you say that your wife is envious unless there is something you are not giving her? She wants a better life, you are not giving her a better life, and you have the means. Like, I've asked myself so many times, how would you build a house and complete, but continue to stay in a rental house? What are you waiting for? You have 4 kids, 4 children, can you imagine? Some of them are even doing a major exam. And then you let the children struggle on the streets. Even when you have difference with a wife, should children really go? Anyway, of course in Kenya, children up to 18 years, that is when they can belong to the father. But then, is it really wise to let the children also roam in the streets because you have differences between you and your wife? I don't think so. And the reason why they are roaming, you are still in a rental house. Why would you not have to relocate to your main house? You know? And of course, from one of the people who knows you closely, they have said that you really have had problems with your wife for very long. She has been also lying to the donors. So it's like the fight between you and your wife is about donors or subscribers or YouTube, you know. So generally you put YouTube as a priority than your marriage. And if you want really to make it in life sometimes, you may sacrifice some things just because of a family. I don't say you quit YouTube, but at the same time you must manage time between YouTube and time between yourself. The other day I saw a comment. Someone, Caro was doing I think a video reaction towards what Masubo had posted. And then there was a lady there known as Caro something. I think a subscriber of MAPOPO, who came out to say that the whole night he has been alongside MAPOPO looking for the wife. And I was like, really? Like, I can spend all my time on camera or whether it's a video call trying to help a man. I'm in America. I'm helping a man in Africa to look for the wife who has disappeared into thin airs at night. I can't do that. Actually, I don't think I can do that. Even the other woman, don't you have a wife or business to do? You can't even sleep at night. You are saying you are all along looking for the wife. Of course, if they had differences such as this, such differences we've seen, they lead to even, homicide. They lead to homicide. So if this woman was scared and ran away for whatever reason, because she knew she was guilty, she cannot escape from that. She was guilty, that is why she ran away. So how do you keep looking for her the entire night? If she was willing to come back, she would have come back. Now you saw her on the video with Masubo. How can you be looking for her the entire night? You would have called Masubo and asked where she was. Anyway, let's get on and hear what he's saying here.
When you're watching my video, the time maybe I want to go to talk to my wife, people will say, oh, your wife, she don't know to talk in English, that's why she don't talk. Now she have a YouTube channel and she talking English very well. But on my camera, she was never talking. Because you know what? She was not loving me. You know, she does not want to see I glow it. You know, she was fighting. She was fighting with my friend. You know, so because she was dating my friend, my fake friend. You know, my fake brother. You know, and actually, after that, I stayed strong. Everybody was complaining. You know, most of the people call me.
I don't believe so. I saw some crap in this story because when my husband realizes I'm cheating and then I start something strange, they won't just keep calm and stay and say that I'm strong. Nobody is ever strong in these things, you know. You cannot pretend and say then I'll stay strong and just watch a woman cheating. Unless you are also cheating, so you are doing what we call do I do, you know. Or what you say, kick, I kick. Do me, I do you. Unless you are in such kind of business, there is no way you'll say I stand strong. Nobody is strong for cheating. A cheating partner, nobody is strong. So when MAPOPO says he decided to sit and say he stays strong, I think there he's hiding something. And what people know from the village is that he has also been cheating with the women around, young women possibly. He also of the donors. That is what we know that happens. All right. So, you know, they say if you want to send a thief to catch a thief, send a thief, and automatically you'll arrest the thief. All right? Let's hear more.
You to make a video where your wife don't help you even to make cleans to your house, where your wife don't want to help you even to farm, your wife don't help you to. I said, my wife, I hide. I say, oh, my wife, she's busy. She's with her kids. Even the time he was staying in the hospital, my wife was going there like a friend, but I was never know that he's his husband. You know, I was never know that.
You never knew, and you said they started long ago.
Moshi said, no, this man he dying here.
That's the police.
I paid my money, bro. Even Moshi, if you're watching this video, Moshi, say the truth. I take my money. I hire, even Moshi said, I never give even a car. Pay me man, and I take man. I paid the man who the manager of the hospital. Ambulance. I was and I sacrifice my money and my time. I don't know. He's my husband to my wife. He cheated on me with my wife. It is painful. I'm telling you, it is painful. Don't joke with this. Don't go to my channel. You go to abuse me and you don't know anything about that.
Was even hiding a lot of things from you because he was a friend. Because
hiding, Masubo, not Masubo, MAPOPO. MAPOPO has become an expert of hiding. He was hiding the wife. He was hiding Chris Madubo. He was hiding, I don't know who. He was hiding. When will you learn not to hide? You know, the moment you keep yourself as a secret keeper, you are also exposing yourself to danger. You know? And I'm just looking at this Mike the Adventure. I'm like, are you sure he's going to keep your story? What I can see with content creation, sometimes people are dry of content. And what they do, they go exposing anything that you thought they are still hiding. Anyway, let's continue so that we can finish this and come back to Marwa.
With your incident, when you got banned, the two girlfriends that you had in the house, because one came and found you with another one. Because these are the rumors that everyone knows here in Abuhande, but we don't even talk. We don't say. People don't say. Even you saw there was no a lot of reactor who knew what happened.
But finally, you've said it.
People are coming there. You know, in my show, there's a lot of gossip there. People come there. Every YouTuber sometimes come there. There is a Wi-Fi, my neighbor's Wi-Fi. So people meet there. People talk. Even these incidents of MAPOPO, there were people coming there. And like, no, I was telling them, no, let's take time to know where's the reality.
Yeah.
So you see, MAPOPO.
Wacha nimalizie kwanza.
Yeah.
Before guys we give you the receipt, you must to understand the point. Even this video to be, it can go even 2 hours, even 3 hours. Posting like that. You see? So, but actually after that, just 2 days ago, I found okay.
All right. So MAPOPO has come out to indicate. He's indicating that he has been hiding so much about his friend Chris Madibo. At the same time, he's saying their relationship started even when he was still a watchman and when he was paying him 16,000. Then again, in the same story, he tells us when he was taking him to hospital recently. Of course, remember that was it August? Yeah, when he was taking him to hospital after the burns, he says that he was not sure that the wife was he was not even aware. That is what he's telling us. He was not aware that the wife was dating Chris Madibo. How true is this? You know, if I add 1 + 1, I can't get 2 here. All I'm getting or I'm seeing is 11 somewhere. You know, the story doesn't add up because he knew long ago. The wife has been dating. They have been chatting. He suspected. Then he's at the same time saying he paid to take him to hospital. I don't know. He is the one who helped him relocate and bought him the first items to get a house because he was not willing to go back to Burundi. I'm like, hey, it's about to go down. Or it has already gone down. In fact, it's not about. It's already gone down. That is why you're coming out to tell us about this ABCD. But all along you've been hiding. What did I say? If you hide the hyena, the woman who hides the hyena will always be severed by that hyena when the hunters have gone. That is what we have to know. You cannot pretend to be hiding somebody and you are calling them a fake friend now, but at some point you suspected. The moment you bring a man into your home and you begin suspecting that they are so friendly to your wife, that is the moment you have to stop that friendship and make that move away. Just even for women. If you bring a woman to your home, you realize that that woman is so close to your husband. You are supposed to make sure that woman walks away before anything happens. But the moment you keep suspecting and you keep waiting, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? But then I would ask also MAPOPO, you don't even buy flip-flop shoes for your wife? You don't take care of your wife? You know, there are simple things women need. Women need very simple care. You just appreciate them, provide for them small stuff, like if it's clothes, provide it, food, provide it, take care of the children, and you'll not see them cheating. But if you're right there, you're not offering these things, you are there, you are working on YouTube, you are paying attention to other women, automatically they'll feel like we have to revenge, especially in the current times. Women now feel like we also have the ability to revenge. We have the channel to revenge, and therefore that is why your woman refuses to do content with you. She also has decided to start her channel. She is struggling to get the same donors you are getting, because after all, the donors helped you to build the house. But even after construction, you have never moved to that house. The donors have helped you to have a better life, but for her, she does not have a better life up to now, you know? And you have trust issues in your home. So what do you want? After coming on social media, do you want to continue staying with her or not? Because if you and settle. Because coming up here and masquerading, sharing with Mike the adventures will not solve everything. Do you know the problems in his home? You don't know. You don't know. And when I look at people in Nyabohanse, there is a lot of fornication, you know, a lot of adultery, a lot of, side chicks. Nyabohanse. You will see someone who is playing around with so many women and pretend it's just content, We know these things. We know these things. You know, chemistry works so easy between a man and a woman. So these things about coming about here, we only doing collaboration. We don't have anything else. Slowly by slowly, when you are doing that content, then the skin touches the other, the eyes look at the other, the teeth and all that. Something will automatically come out. You like it or not. So those things of collaboration, why can't you collaborate with your wife and do content? Today you post on your channel, tomorrow you post on the other channel. We've seen Marwa making it. He's doing his content, the wife is doing her content, and they are going on with life. Why should you even want to collaborate on the same channel? Empowerment means that every person in the house can do their things, but at the end of the day, you can bring each, whatever you've sourced from different sources, you bring in on table and continue with life. It's not necessary that because you're married together, you must always do things together. Everybody can do their stuff. You do your YouTube, she does her YouTube, but you survive. And you just learn to respect each other. You also avoid bringing a lot of third parties in your family. Because when I look at this Mike adventures, I don't think tomorrow he will be the same. What if he comes out and starts to expose the nudes? Now that you have talked about it, he will be there to share. Because content is content. When you're on YouTube, content is content. What about if someone wants to buy what he has known about you and then calls him and he offers it? Didn't you see the aspect of General trying to say what Trenchtown grandpa has done to Marwa? So that can happen to anybody. It can happen today, tomorrow, the other day. Yeah, it can happen.
You want to know? I was fighting every day with my wife. You know, my wife and they don't talk to me, don't have a communication with me, don't anything. Because me, I say, oh, maybe, I don't know what happened. Every day she tell me, you know, one of my friend, you know, telling me that you have a girlfriend, you have another wife, you have a girlfriend. And I telling her, just to give me the evidence. If you see I have another wife, I have... Guys, before I go far, I repeat again 3 times. I'm sorry saying this. But the secret message about the abusing things, I will never show you. But the real message or the picture to show you to... That's...
So he had to come out. He had to come out and show us some videos they have been sharing, some messages they have been sharing, and he told us that his story will not give us secret messages. Look at that.
He sent him a video.
So there's a video.
Yes.
There's a video.
Yes.
MAPOPO's wife dancing, I think, with a shot. And then utaniua. Chris Madiba
He
said,
said, "Utaniwa, you will kill me."
That's like,
And here,
that's why there is a heart.
yes,
There's a heart, love,
Madiba is saying,
sijakuelewa.
Chris Madiba is said, I don't understand. Chris Madiba is said again, unaendeleaje Mama Jacqueline?
So,
Chris Madiba is said, usijali utapona. She said,
I'm saying in this camera, the conversation I saw, it's a very big conversation, even the dates when they started. So this dating has started some years back. So that's why sometimes you see MAPOPO's, but let me tell you, MAPOPO and his wife, they've been having some issues. You know, not what MAPOPO saw on the phone. They've been having some issues. Even MAPOPO's wife have been trying to come and talk to me, talk to MAPOPO. MAPOPO is violence. Then I was saying, okay, I will talk with MAPOPO. I meet MAPOPO, I say.
All right, so we can see Mike Adventure telling us that violence has been in this home. But MAPOPO is not just accepting that he beat the wife. He's simply saying that they had a difference. There is a difference between saying we had a difference and saying that I beat her, you know? So he's coming out on camera, I don't know for whatever reason. Was it to clean his mess and show that the wife is a mistake? Was it to actually prove that he deserves to marry somebody else? I don't understand. And so Mike Adventure is opening up, just like we saw Nairobi teacher saying that this guy has had issues with the wife for a very long time. And of course now they are blaming Chris Madiba. So Chris Madiba, are you ready for a wife? Are you ready to take a wife? Or what were you doing? Because I don't see how, if you are not married, you can fail to get a woman. You can easily get a woman. There are so many girls, or even girls or ladies in Nyabohanse. Why should he particularly go for the friend's wife? Is it because he was an easy target? He knew about the problems, or rather the challenges the wife is going through after staying there? You know, sometimes if we invite people to our houses, whether they're women or men, they'll study our weaknesses. They'll know the weakness of a husband or a wife, and they'll take advantage of that. So that is the first problem these people did. If they brought in Madiba, they brought in Madiba Chris in their family, but they had their own weakness. In fact, possibly Chris knew the weakness, such as things like MAPOPO not really taking care of the wife, not offering some basics. And he began, possibly when he earned his salary, 16,000 Kenyan shillings, he began giving tips to the wife. Here, I can actually squarely blame MAPOPO. If you have a wife, provide for them. Give them the basics so that they don't have a reason to cheat. But at the same time, I blame Chris. Chris, you've been invited by somebody. You are all the way from Burundi. You didn't have even qualification to be in Kenya. Then after stepping in Kenya, what you do is to take away your friend's wife. Didn't you see any other women in Nyabohanse? Didn't you see young girls in Nyabohanse you would have actually got into a relationship with and even married? Why do you want to cheat around with somebody's wife? Somebody who already has 4 kids. Do you want those children to suffer and have a divorced family? You will be a great disfavor to your friend, and at the same time you'll be messing your life, because I don't think Chris Madiba at this point can take Neema to become a wife. Now I'm looking also at Neema. Neema, you are a mother of 4 kids. Can you imagine? Then there is some foundation being built here, a better home. But now you decide to go for 600 or whatever. And now some people may think that we are laughing at that, but then it's sort of foolish to have made such a decision, because it doesn't add any value. Because if you are a YouTuber, you can actually rely on your YouTube and whatever you're earning at the end of the day to make your life better. And your children's life also. But you want to make your children suffer because of some foolishness, some shortcuts that won't add 1 + 1. And of course, some people are defending you, saying that people should not be taking the aspect that you've suffered, maybe financially, to talk about it. But then, how can we teach that tomorrow talk about it like that? We don't have to really massage her ego so much. It's some sort of foolishness, and of course all of us know. Just like we've seen a lot of women in Nyabohanse messing. We keep talking about it because they are not actually reasoning. They are not using their square strength. All they are doing is to mess up themselves. Anyway, let's get to the story of the spiritual aspect in Kilifi. won't take a lot of time on that because I already did. So, as I told you, I've ever been among the Giriama people, Mijikenda people, Pokomo people, the Digo, and they have a strong aspect of the Kayas. Now, in Kayas, the baobab trees, they are actually owned by spiritual aspects from the dead, you know? Like if your grandfather dies or your grandmother, they believe that spirit gets into the tree. And there are even some ends, like if you go to Taita Hills, we have some caves where they have placed the heads, you know. After someone has been buried, they pick the head literally, and they go place in a cave to represent generations. Now, for those of you who are saying that there's no problem with anybody going to worship the trees, touching the baobab, listening to other African cultures, is it because Christianity has actually confused you? I'll say no to that. If Marwa wants to believe in African culture, he has his own Kuria culture to believe in. Because in Africa, there's nothing like African culture. There is the Kikuyu culture, there is the Luya culture, there is Masai culture, there is Giriama culture. There is nothing a blanket about African culture. That one forget. There is nothing like that. Because I stayed with the Mijikenda for a long time, and their culture, when it comes to spiritual matters, is squarely different. Different from the Luya or Kisi or any other. And as I've said, those people actually bury their dead. Like when you go to Mekatalili Wamensa, there is a way they buried her, and now they consider her a given goddess among the Giriama people. You want to tell me like a Luya from Luya, I'll go and worship that? I don't even know anything to do with the spiritual and energy and all that. So you cannot derive energy from a different African. And in fact, there is nothing like African energy. There is nothing like that. So let's look at why Marwa was so scared while at the bush and seeing how the wife was so excited about this culture in the bush. Okay, so he was so scared actually and was trying to protect the child. Yeah, he was trying to protect the child from going there. And ROCIO was trying to tell him to just, you know, stand it because it's African culture. And I was like, do you know, there is nothing like African culture. Even when you go to a country like Uganda, we have the Basoga people who do very different stuff. You go to the Baganda themselves, they have different aspect. You go to the Gishu, they have a different culture. So we don't have a blanket culture as African culture. It's neither there nor there. If I go to Sudan, for example, I know the Dinka people, we have the Arabic people, and we have the other, they call them what? The Nuer. So there is no way you can tell me there is Sudanese culture. There's nothing like that. When you go to Somali also, there is a culture based on different ethnic groups. Go to Tanzania, we have different ethnic groups, and each one of them have their own spiritual aspect. Lucy, Mambo. All right, so we are here trying to actually talk about the shenanigans in Nyabohanse. And not just in Nyabohanse, but what is happening around there, and also what happened in Kilifi. So you have just found me almost finishing, but I have about 10 minutes. 10 minutes before I finish, or 15. So I'm getting to see why Marwa was left out in the culture of the Giriama. As I've told you, the Giriama people have a lot of deeper cultures, some of them that are not very good. Why am I saying they're not very good? Please, you can visit them and find out. Some of the things they practice spiritually, they have caused a lot of craziness. A lot of craziness, actually, especially Kayas. When you look at Kayas, they have the power even to curse somebody. So how can you tell me there is wellness energy at the same place where they can curse somebody to be insane? As I've said, I stayed among the Giriama people while I was teaching in Hamisi Boys. And there's a time now I moved from the coast main island, and I went to teach in Taita. Taita also, they have Kayas. And I saw a lot of things being practiced in a manner that those people sometimes are tied with that culture. That culture of the Kaya actually made them, some of them have not opened up their mind. So I'm surprised that people like ROCIO and Marwa, who have already exposed themselves to the world, and they have adventured the world, can go back to such culture that is not even adding up. I remember the school I was teaching, there was a tree they had planted through those Kaya aspects. They killed somebody from that place, and after that, they planted a tree so that it could claim the lives of those who did it. Can you imagine? So they had to call a whole religious group, that is a church, to come and deliver that. Can you imagine? So we have so much among the Taita, Giriama, Digo, and those people, Pokomo and what have you. If you sit with the elders, because personally, as I said, I went to do some research. When we are in university, we did some research among the people from Giriama. We went even to Mekatalil Wamensa's home, and we did see the grave. We did hear them telling us the culture. You see that small hut that was shown in the video. It is there, and in that house, they normally believe there are spirits there. So they always offer food in the morning and in the evening. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then you are telling me that Marwa goes there with the wife, and they just sit around and nothing happens. Let's just watch this a little bit. And I want you to tell me why Marwa was scared. He was so scared, actually, about this culture of the Pokomo people. And also what was happening. He was even scared about the sun going there. You know, spiritual matters are not a joke. You cannot connect yourself just to some people's culture and say that, yeah, it's African. There is no culture like African. There is no culture like African culture. So when ROCIO tells Marwa that that culture is in Africa, it is not Kuria culture. In Africa, we talk about specific ethnic groups. Even what the Luyas, different, like the Tiriki people, what they practice is not what the Idaho people practice, what the Wanga people practice, the Marama people. There are different aspects again when you go to sub-ethnic groups. So how dare somebody tell us that it is just African? In fact, somebody was saying that they have stayed in America for some while, and therefore there is no problem with talking to the ocean, it's alive. And another one was saying that there's no problem with even touching the baobab. The baobab is just like the mugumo tree among the Kikuyu. There's no problem with talking to it. Really? Really? Unless this is incantation. Incantation in Nigeria. And you people know what happens in West Africa. When you look at most of the movies from West Africa, what have you been seeing? Like they believe in those gods until they strike people crazy. They strike people mad. They strike people dead. I wouldn't wish to have a society that has such things. I don't believe so. I would wish that we just believe in Christianity, where you generally pray to God and things happen. But then when you go around, then attach yourself to some spirits, I find that very crazy. Anyway, let's listen to this.
That artist is very creative.
Yeah.
Who is this artist?
It's called Griffin.
Oh, the same Griffins.
The same artist.
Oh, that you really work to put your whole... You'll find some DM.
Oh, there's some advertisement here. Let's just keep it.
DMs.
Yeah. Days.
Yeah, all
Our
days.
grandmas used
Hey, Mitoto, you become the mechanic. There's even healing with horses, guys. And here we have our Bao Bao.
Baobab. Baobab. Look at that. Look at that. People sitting on the ground, totally on the ground, and then meditating in an African way. Then this guy came about to speak, and what did he say? He said that for their God, the God that he's talking about, they don't know whether it's a man or woman. And the only way to get to that God is you die and you go through another person's body. Can you imagine? That kind of culture is what they practice around here. And as I've told you, I've lived among the Giriama people, the Pokomo people. Their spiritual matters are very complex. Very complex. I never even try to associate with myself with that. Lucy is saying Rocio has no clue about Africa and needs to research. Of course, she needs to research. You know, she speaks somehow and just thinks like Africa is Africa. Yet, when you go to Uganda, just cross the border here and go to Uganda. What the Basoga people do, like they even wake up the dead from the graves and they make the dead go work in a farm. Who does that? You know? You go to the Gishu people, the firstborn is supposed to be, I don't know, consumed or somehow something like that. So there is no African culture. You cannot tell me that there's African culture. Different ethnic groups believe different. Even when you come to Kenya, the way the Kikuyu people believe or behave, it's very different from the way the Luya people behave. Very different from how the Griama people behave. Very different from the Kisi people, the Kuria, and all that. And even when you go among the, let's say now the Luya are so many sub-tribes. Each sub-tribe has their own way of practice. They don't practice a blanket culture that Rocio is now telling people African culture. What does she know about Africa anyway? She needs to sit down and research before she can come on YouTube and tell people that African culture. Because has she ever seen something like this in Nyabohanse? Not at all. Has she seen that in Nyanza? She's not seen it there. Has she seen that in Kakamega? She's not. She traveled all the way to coast. And not just coast, she was in Watamu. Was there such a practice? Even though if she was in Watamu, I'm imagining she would have gone to Kaya Kinondo. There is a Kaya called Kinondo, where they practice now a different spiritual aspect. They believe in a God that stays in the bush. So they have dark forests, you know, and this dark forest, they have some small huts, and within those huts, they provide spiritual food to their gods within every morning and every evening. And as I said, when they want a ritual practice, what they do, they kill, let's say, a chicken, and they don't kill it the way we do it, the rest of us. They smother it, and they will burn it without removing the feathers, and then eat it without salt. Can you imagine? So that is something they practice among the Giriama people across the ferry when they go to Diani and all those other sites, okay? So there is a kaya known as Kinondo. That's what they practice. And for they believe that that forest, no foreigner can step in it. If you want to step in it, you must remove your shoes. Can you imagine? So why do they remove their shoes? And they believe that that forest, nobody can invade if you are a foreigner. You cannot go in as a foreigner alone. You have to go with the people from there. Can you imagine? Now, when you go to Malindi, that is where Mekatalili Wamenza comes from. For them, somebody like Mekatalili Wamenza, her grave up to now, it is clean, earthen and clean. And they have covered her grave with a red kind of cloth. And they keep refreshing it. In her home, there are grass huts. Is it grass or the huts that have been done with palm trees, leaves. And what they practice, before you enter those houses, you have also to remove your shoes. You have to dress like them. There is a certain dress they'll give you. You dress before you go in. And they step on ground. The women there and men, they step on the ground. They don't put on shoes. So when I look at those aspects, actually, we just did when we were going for research at university level. But later on, when I went to stay in Coast, I didn't want anything to do with the spiritual aspect of the Giriama people because it's very complex. And again, I came to understand that those kayas, they use them to curse and, ruin some people's lives. Some of the people who are crazy in Coast are as a result of the kaya. And kaya is a kind of religious aspect within the people of the coast. Somebody can research on it if you want. Actually, we did a research and even wrote reports on it. So I'm talking with confidence, and you can take what I'm saying to the bank because I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Rocio, of course, has no clue about that, and she thinks that she's really having wellness. I don't know what kind of wellness is that. If she knew how the people in coast sometimes die, some of them kill themselves, hang themselves on trees. They take poison like they're eating some ugali or some porridge. Every now and then they do that. And we have so many crazy people around there because of those kayas. How I wish she knew. Unless these people are just under this structure, are just tourism attraction people who are not really practicing the real Mijikenda tradition. But there is a festival that is conducted in Kilifi. I don't think it's this one though. There is some culture that is practiced within the village, not in the forest as this. And if it's a forest, it must be a clear forest, not a place like this one. Maybe I just believe that these ones are using that culture partly, and at the same time, you know, attracting what. Somebody asked, why is it that those people who are attending have actually tattoos that look like a snake, others that look like I don't know what. Why don't you have tattoos that look like a flower or vegetable or a tree? Why should we have tattoos that look like a snake? When we are in college, I used to hate looking at somebody, then I see a tattoo that looks like a crocodile or a snake. It doesn't occur very well for me as an African, actually. So anyway, let's go and check on this before we finish. Look at that, sitting around in a circle, like some people who are possessed or something.
From there, I take you to even Dobrao. They're learning Portuguese there. A lot. There's a lot of things going on. That one I can show you. It's not just Maro. Even some things I can't even show you a lot because there's too much things going on. Like here, for example, I'm gonna show you something that I learned today. You can even sleep.
Hey, a lot of things.
So the thing is, you sit here under the scorching sun. Oh my God, let me clear my camera.
There is some place where Marwa was actually scared a lot. He was saying he was so scared, and ROCIO was assuring him to like the culture, and I'm like, what?
And nowadays I've been confusing if this is the leaf of life.
Let me just check here.
Very cool space. You can lean on the baobab. The tree is big. As I've shown you before, this tree. It's quite massive, guys. Nowadays, even me, I have this behavior of touching trees like this. Long time ago, I just used to say, oh, it's a big tree. Now I'm like, oh, let me touch it.
Okay.
Perspectives change.
Okay.
Things change. And then I want you to see this forest, guys. This is Africa.
Oh my God.
Because that is just hearsay.
So he's saying that the aspects about the baobab is just hearsay. Okay.
It could be over 100 acres. Hectares, not acres.
Hectares, not acres. We don't have hectares and acres. We have acres and hectares.
Beneath the baobab. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. But also I love the fact that you can build. But it's turning out to be a very amazing, you know. Here is another restaurant. Okay. On the other side I showed you there's serious healing going on. So these places, guys, it's to find yourself in the different dimension of life.
The Shakahola. Guys, this is how Shakahola began. You know, somebody created a church in the forest, and then he began to collect people across the country, telling them that the world is ending, they should sell everything and go stay there in his church, and then they should dry fast. And finally, a lot of people died. Some even had to give up their careers and everything and end up here, you know? I'm like, do you know Kilifi and that place of Shakahola is not far?
I hope that music doesn't give me copyright that you see me on the other side.
Oh my God.
So, that is what is going on here. A lot of activities going on beyond just activities. Others are secular, others are more healing. And also there's others who have come here for business, they're selling stuff. And I just want to show you how. So I cannot take you there because of that music. I'll get copyrights for the entire video. And so
Look at that.
I want you to see right here, we have another class going on.
Nothing like I can say, wow, I really want to do this. If you again the program, I think there's one more.
Let's go to the kids playing ground.
There's one more in the music studio. And
Tomorrow's the last day.
so today, Saturday,
The lady of the house says today's Saturday.
yeah, room time. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually we are coming to an end of this, but ROCIO was assuring Marwa that they should just go to the place, and he picked the child walking kata up to there, and Marwa had to pick the child later when he was making noise and move out from the place. Of course, Marwa was so scared about that place. He was uncomfortable with the place. But as you can see, it seems finally ROCIO has found a spiritual church to attend to. And possibly she will be going every year, you know, because she's enjoying this. And she thinks it's African culture, not knowing that it's just Mijikenda culture. And I don't think a lot of people practice this time, because the last time I was in Coast, actually many people are getting to now the religious church Christianity and quitting these cultures because they have realized it is not giving them the best. So those who are still maintaining them, of course, maybe for their own purposes. So guys, let's come to an end. We'll have another live stream later. I really appreciate Lucy was here and any other person who showed up. Bye bye for now. Let's meet later.